Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, depending on where you are in the United States today. Thank you very much for joining the joint webinar with Amazon Web Services and Citizen Global. The topic today is revolutionizing your approach to video and photo evidence collection. So thanks very much for carving out some time. We're excited to be able to present this opportunity and the platform to each and every one of you. So my name is John Hepner. I'm a public sector account manager for Amazon Web Services. And representing Citizen Global today is the Vice President of Business Development, Ro Crowley. She's on the line, as well as the presenter for today for Citizen Global will be CEO Nick Nemikis, and he will be taking us through the presentation and the demonstration of the Citizen Global platform. So let's just take a look at what the agenda is for today. So I think it's important that we just give a brief overview of web services, and I'll take us through a few slides here regarding the web services overview. And then I'll transition over to Nick, and he'll take us through a set of slides that will really set the foundation for what the Citizen Global platform is. And during that process, there'll be a demonstration of the platform itself so you can see all of the unique capabilities that the platform provides. Once we get through the presentation piece and the demonstration, we'll go into a Q&A and we'll have some polling questions as well. So we can do a better job and get some feedback from you on the presentation specifically. And I would encourage you in your presentation mode, you should have a Q&A panel. So as the presentation moves forward, I encourage you to please send in your questions and we'll answer those as many as we can at the end. So Amazon Web Services provides a broad set and a deep set of services that can support any workload in the cloud. And in the middle of this slide, there are three key components. That is, you can think of it as that three-legged stool, if you will. Uh, the three main components that AWS provides are compute. You can think of those virtual machines of Windows and Linux variants. In the middle is our storage component and the services around that. Simple Storage Service is an internet class storage service that can provide unlimited quantities of storage for your needs. We have Glacier, which is anything that you'd put on tape today, that you would put in Glacier, which is another storage component. The third piece of that is an elastic block storage volume service that you can attach to your running virtual machines. And the third piece of that is database. You can bring your own license of Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, and we also have a relational database service that supports Oracle, Microsoft, MySQL, Postgres. So those are the three key components there. Wrapped around those three components would be networking services, application services, um, in a myriad of different offerings. And as an enterprise player from a cloud infrastructure as a service provider, you can think of a number of different services that allow you to easily deploy and administer your cloud environment. So all those services are wrapped around the three main services in the middle, and all of that resides on a global AWS infrastructure. We'll take a little bit more in-depth look at what that global infrastructure looks like in the next slide. So from a global infrastructure perspective, you think of the cloud, and is it just two data centers in Phoenix somewhere? It is not. It is a truly global infrastructure with 10 regions throughout the world. And we have four regions within the United States. We have Sao Paulo, Ireland, Tokyo, Singapore, and Sydney, and our newest region, which is in China, which is in limited preview. I'd like to point out there's two up in the Northwest in Oregon. We have our traditional commercial region, if you will, in Oregon, and we also have a GovCloud region based in Oregon that is for ITAR specific types of workloads, additional encryption capabilities for FISMA moderate type workloads that you might need. So within each of those regions, we have 26 availability zones, and we'll go into that a little bit more in detail, but you can think of an availability zone as its own distinct data center. In addition, 52 edge locations, which pushes that data out closer to the end user of that data, and specifically around our content delivery service, CloudFront, and our domain naming service, Route 53, getting that information out closer to those end users, reducing the latency. So let's take a look at what a region is comprised of. So we're looking here at US East region back in Virginia. And I mentioned availability zones, and you can think of an availability zone as its own distinct data center with its own power, its own cooling, its own backup system. Each of these are independent of each other, but are linked together with low latency fiber that really reduces that latency between the availability zones or the data centers, and allows customers and partners to develop applications that are highly resilient, highly scalable, and fault tolerant. So one of the key features of AWS and why customers and partners are choosing AWS from an infrastructure perspective is the rapid pace of innovation that AWS has adopted, and you can see it ever increasing over the past few years. And we're not just innovating and iterating our services and products for what we need. We're listening to customers and providing that sense of innovation that our customers want. Yes, we do have our own ideas of where we want to take the industry, but we're constantly listening to our customers and trying to provide services and enhancement to those services that meet their needs. So for the example with Citizen Global, there's a lot of infrastructure and services that they can take advantage of that we provide, and they can focus on their application that make it very strong, um, a- and can provide those capabilities that you're looking for as a customer of the partner solution. A little bit of perspective on the global infrastructure. And you think of this global infrastructure with 10 regions throughout the world. If you think back to 2004, Amazon.com was a fairly large $7 billion e-commerce company, and a lot of servers were in place to power that level of e-commerce. So every day throughout our global infrastructure, you think of the amount of server infrastructure that it took to run that business back in 2004. We are adding that server capacity every single day that it took to power that $7 billion enterprise. So it's really quite an astonishing uh, figure and fact that we're constantly putting that amount of server capacity in our regions throughout the world. We're, AWS is used by over 800 and over 800 government entities, as well as over 3,000 education institutions throughout the world. That ranges from NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory down in California to the city of Melbourne in Australia. Additionally, we are trusted by enterprises around the world, and we're very proud of the really the good work that we're allowing our customers to get done on AWS infrastructure. Very trusted names. You think of some of those logos that you see are very old guard, and they're making that move to the AWS cloud infrastructure to solve their critical business needs. AWS likes to allow other third party companies to kind of sing the praises of what we're doing, the good work that we're doing. One example would be the Gartner Magic Quadrant, and that seems to ring true for a lot of different IT companies. Upper right is where you want to be in that Magic Quadrant with the ability to execute and the vision and the completeness of the vision. With that said, I think Gartner is pointing to AWS as the leader in infrastructure as a service, which makes it For our partners like Citizen Global, it makes it very compelling for them to utilize AWS as their infrastructure to power the great work that they're doing. One thing that always comes up and a really a very key component in why customers and partners are choosing AWS as an infrastructure as a service is security. AWS is architected for government security requirements. You look at all of this on the left-hand side of your screen, the certifications and accreditations for workloads that really matter. We are, one of those key components is the FedRAMP approval. We have authority to operate and being able to have trusted workloads from three-letter agencies at the federal perspective uh, is very compelling. So FISMA model workloads, ISO 27001. From a commitment standpoint to that enhancement and innovation around security, we did announce CloudTrail a few months back, which allows you to see what's going on with all of your AWS resources, which allows you to meet your uh, compliance and governance requirements that you may have from any government resource. So with that said, I wanted to security is certainly job number one for AWS, and we're doing great work in that regard. And I wanted to hand it over to Nick Namikas at this point in time to take us through the Citizen Global platform. And I thank you very much for the opportunity around the AWS infrastructure. Nick?
Thank you, John. This is Nick Namikas speaking from Citizen Global. Again, thank you all for attending this webinar. If you're having any trouble viewing the slides or anything like that, we will be providing a link to this presentation to view after the case. So if you're missing anything, you should be able to still collect that information later in time. To review on what John said regarding the agenda, we're going to take you through some slides about the Citizen Global opportunity, do a demo and actually show you the product in action, and then we'll soon wrap up into the Q&A. At a high level, yes, Citizen Global is to really focus on our application development and solutions. And it's allowed us to really deliver what we think are cutting edge solutions for public safety. And at a high level, the problem that we're solving is we're finding that public safety agencies, law enforcement agencies, for example, are being faced with the problem of big data multimedia information. And this comes from both external sources and internal sources. Um, and witnesses, smartphone world. It can include body camera technology internally, smartphones with from officers, even dash cam video. There's a lot of big data challenges that law enforcement and public safety officials are being faced with, and that's the problem we're solving. Now we're gonna start by focusing in on one of our products related to crowdsourcing. Our product is called Community Connect, and as you're seeing on the screen now, it's improving public safety by engaging your community to leverage the massive amounts of multimedia they capture every day. We're going to focus our demo on this component of the system, and after that, we'll talk about just a few of the other products that we have. Okay, as I spoke earlier about the problem, when it comes to crowdsourcing, what we found in the space is that public safety agencies really do not have an end-to-end solution to efficiently leverage the information captured in their community on a daily basis. And this includes the day-to-day crimes, ongoing case investigations, as well as the major emergency events. You're seeing a photo on the left. This is captured from a recent event in Huntington Beach. You can see two people breaking into a store during a public unrest or riot, And you can see 7 cameras there circled documenting this event. The 8th camera is, of course, the one you're looking through the lens of right now. Um, this information is out there. It's everywhere, and it's very valuable towards disaster response, investigation, and really case management. Um, what we found is most stereotypically with the Boston Marathon bombing investigation, the Boston PD as well as the FBI had reached out to the citizens to submit photos and videos to help them in their investigation. And I'm sure we're all aware of the investigation issues they had with the collection, analysis, storage, and distribution of this information, but it was quite overwhelming. And it really opened up the need for a solution. So the solution is Citizen Global. We are a cloud-based platform based on Amazon Web Services. We're mobile enabled, and our software equips public safety agencies with everything they need to efficiently collect, store, analyze, and share this on-the-scene information. The screen you're seeing now, the photo that you're seeing, shows the cloud and all the various external sources from eyewitnesses to social media to news media, all being able to submit information into a central place, which is the Citizen Global platform. Okay. The product, as I mentioned, we're going to be focusing on today is Community Connect. This is our premier crowdsourcing solution. The demo that we're going to show you today is focusing on the features and functionalities you're seeing on the screen right now. So what are the tools that your agency or organization needs to engage your community? Well, the first thing is we found is that when it comes to investigation information, reaching out for direct submissions is critical. Not asking them to upload through social media, but to upload directly into the organization or agency. And that's the first thing you're seeing on the left is crowdsourcing applications. What we deploy for your agency or organization is your own customized mobile apps, which include iPhone app, Android app, and a portal on your website and Facebook page. So these will be the places through which you can make specific requests to your jurisdiction, your community. Um, we're going to go at first in our demonstration. The second piece you're seeing there is the social media analysis tools. Now, some people will upload to social media, and you're going to want to leverage that information. So we have tools that allow you to set geofences and timelines and things like that to search social media and to access relevant information to add to your library. And finally, the third piece of Community Connect is the Web Content Bookmarklet. This is a functionality that allows you to browse the internet, and as you see valuable information, you can click your bookmarklet. It's a bookmark that goes in your browser, and what it will do is extract all of the media from the page, for example, all of the images on the page, and allows you to add those into your library. It also allows you to take a screenshot of the web page. The point here is that public information it's all public on the internet, you're going to want to directly request it through the crowdsourcing apps. You'll be able to analyze it through the social media analysis tools. And third, you'll be able to use the bookmarklet to capture content that you find relevant online. You know, you're seeing all of these tools all point into the central Citizen Global case and digital evidence management system. And that is all that information will come into one place where it can be collaborated, analyzed, and managed and reviewed by your team. And you can even involve participating agencies. Our demo is actually going to show today. We're going to show you these tools. We're going to show you each piece of this solution, so you have an understanding of how it all works. The subject of our demo is going to be Rocky Coast Police Department, and we're going to go ahead and use a specific example, which is a baseball riot. So the demo agency that we're going to show is Rocky Coast City Police Department, and the investigation that is being requested is the baseball game riot. Now we're going to start by showing you the eyewitness applications. So these are how you directly request information from the public. Now you're going to want to, if you recall, this consists of your mobile apps, an iPhone app, an Android app, your website, and a Facebook application. Those are the locations through which people can submit. So the first thing to do is to reach out to your community and let them know that exists. We find this as a good opportunity for your agency or organization to engage the community, to do a press release about this, to let them know that this exists. Um, Alternative methods are to promote this out on traditional channels like social media, on the news media, etc. So we're going to start the experience from Twitter. So our experience is beginning as a citizen of Rocky Coast City. And we've seen a tweet that went out which says, "Did you capture important eyewitness information from the baseball game riot? Please submit it here." Now, this will be the link that people will click on to go out to the Rocky Coast Police Department website. Now, you're noticing that this is a demonstration website. So we have a little overlay warning it so people don't think Rocky Coast City is a real police department. They're directed to the citizen reporting portal on the Rocky Coast City Police Department page. And on this web page, I'm circling it with my mouse right now. Hopefully you're seeing it, is our application. This has been embedded. This is Citizen Global Technology embedded right onside the Rocky Coast Police Department website. So, for example, for your organization or agency, you would have the same thing here. Now you're noticing inside of this application, there's multiple requests for eyewitness information. There's one request for just general information, see something, send something. And then below that, you're seeing two specific requests regarding one disaster response. We've heard from public safety agencies that an important thing is actually gathering information regarding disaster response as well as disaster damage and how they can help alleviate the damage. The next thing you're seeing down here is more of a classic investigation, baseball game riot, requesting witness information to help in that investigation. Now, this same experience, these same cases can be deployed across the mobile apps, which we'll show here shortly, and the Facebook app. For now, we're going to go ahead and click on the submit button. We're going to choose the baseball game riot because that's the one that we have content for. We're presented with more information about this case so we can understand more clearly what Rocky Coast needs from us. And we're presented with Citizen Global Technology really options for us to submit our media to this case. Now, I'm from a web browser, which means I'm right now I'm on a laptop. So the options are about uploading from a laptop and using my webcam to record a new video. If I had connected from a mobile device, all the interfaces are mobile friendly. So I'm going to shrink this down. You should see it becomes mobile friendly. And then the options will transition into shooting with your camera and accessing your camera gallery. So the point is that these tools work for both the web, the mobile web browser, and as well as the iPhone app and Android app that you'll get deployed. You're seeing here links to, that will advertise that to the citizens as they submit their information. The advantage of the mobile apps is that your citizens can install those on their phones and be aware of all the cases that you deploy and information that they can submit to you from the palm of their hand. The other benefit of this is that this is plugged into a chunk uploader, which will upload the file in a series of chunks. And what that means and why that's beneficial is that if the 3G or 4G connection goes out at any time while the citizen is on the scene, the upload will pause and then restart once the connection is regained, right from where the file left off in the upload. So delivering a good user experience to your customer. Now to note and highlight, this is all using Amazon Web Services CloudFront distribution network. That's one of the services Amazon provides, which is a distributed network of servers. And the uploads are actually finding the closest server to you and uploading through that, which delivers the best experience possible for the citizen. The other options citizens have are maybe they were on the scene and they uploaded to their personal social media accounts. We have tools that allow them to connect to their personal social media, for example, Facebook albums, and go ahead and select and submit photos and videos from there. Now let's go ahead and upload a photo for the purposes of this demo. I'm going to go ahead and select a crowd photo from my laptop that I have. This looks like a fighting scene from the baseball game. While the upload it goes through, the user is presented with form fields to fill out. Now, these form fields are customized by Rocky Coast City, and Rocky Coast City agency can choose to make these optional or mandatory, and even create custom form fields for this specific case. For example, time captured is a customized dropdown, or selecting are you a citizen, news media, or local business is a customized field, which is the radio dial picker that Rocky Coast selected for this case. Now, important with each submission is that Rocky Coast Police Department will get the media use rights to this information to use in their investigation. So just like a citizen uploads to Facebook and Facebook gets the media use rights to the content, the same thing happens here, but for your agency. The citizen is done submitting, very easy process. They are presented with a thank you message that you can customize. This is the Rocky Coast Police Department customizing. The citizen will get a submission ID they can keep as reference. There's a button to submit more information. And finally, they're invited to share this case out on their social media. So for example, I could connect to my Facebook account and then share this out onto my personal social media. So here you're seeing the information about this case being carried with this to Facebook, and I can write to my friends, did you witness this? Okay, so that's the citizen's user experience. The same thing is also present on the Facebook page for Rocky Coast Police Department. So now the Rocky Coast Police Department Facebook page, and easily added onto there is a Facebook application with the exact same cases being made available to the public. The purposes here is that you're going to where your customer, your community is. You're engaging them where they're at, and you're engaging them with the tools that they're familiar with, no matter what their technical knowledge is. Somebody who has absolutely zero technical knowledge, with some people have more media savvy capabilities. Okay, we're going to go ahead and leave the citizens experience, and we're going to now dive into the administrative experience. So we're now going to be logging in as a Rocky Coast Police Department agent, for example. We go to the Citizen Global homepage and click Login, and that will access us and log us into our personal account. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here. So now I'm logging in as a Rocky Coast agent, and that'll take me right to my account. And I will see now that I have, this is a list of my accounts. Um, Agents can be invited to participate in more than one account. So if you are participating with another agency in the collection and sharing of information, that can be accessed here, and there can be permissioned access for the distribution of that information. Since all this data is accessible in the cloud, securely through the cloud, it really opens up a new opportunity for collaboration, sharing of information, and distributing information and messaging on that. Okay, we're going to click on our account for Rocky Coast Police Department. This would be, for example, your organization's or your agency's account. We can see recent activity, ongoing cases, and recent submissions. What we're going to do first is we're going to take you through what it looks like to create a case. We'll then show you the social media monitoring tools. We'll then give you a taste of the Bookmarklet tool, and then we'll wrap up the demo with a look at the media management tool. We'll try to move through this quickly. So here's our list of cases. I will choose to add a case. For example, we'll choose the baseball stadium riot as our. Um, I'll click save. And now, once my case has been created, I have options of what do I want to do with that case. Door number one is requesting and receiving media from our community. That's exactly what we've just demoed for you. So that's how citizens can directly submit information to you through your applications. The second option, door number two, is searching and leveraging existing content on social media, which we'll show you shortly. And also, we do provide the ability to upload your own information. So let's go ahead and choose door number one and show you what it looks like to prepare a case to receive public information. So you title your case and describe exactly what you want in detail. For example, we're looking for the guy in the white hat and blue sunglasses, for example. Whatever specific request for information you're looking for, you would detail there. Next, you can see the submission options. These are the options that the user will have, the citizen will have to submit their information. If in this particular case, you do not want the webcam tool or you do not want YouTube, for example, you can turn those off. We recommend keeping them all on. And by the way, by popular demand, we are adding the ability to submit purely text, as opposed to only being able to provide text along with a photo or video submission. We're adding the ability to just submit text if they need to. Here is the custom form fields you saw when the user was submitted. This is how you customize those form fields. You can create custom ones. These are the default ones you're seeing here. And you can also import fields from your other cases. So as you create custom fields, for example, the various bureaus of your city, the users can select as an example. You can import those from other cases so they don't have to continuously create them. The final step is creating your thank you message the user receives at the end of the submission process. So we're going to go ahead and click save, and it's that easy to create a new case. It is now prepared to receive information from the public, and your last step is to choose which applications you'd like to add this case to. If you recall, we had the mobile applications, for example, for Rocky Coast. We had the application on the Rocky Coast website and Facebook. But just with a click of a button, that will add it to that location. And now if we go back to, for example, the website and refresh, you'll now see our new case. There it is, Baseball Stadium Riot is now available. And that'll be available across all of the applications that you added to. So this is very useful for getting the cases out there, getting the callouts out there for citizens to submit. We found another great use for this is if you have a smaller investigation and you're reaching out specifically to, let's just say 20 people that you have the contact information for, you can create a new app and then embed that on a specific page of your website and only direct those specific users to that location. So this tool can be useful in the sort of the larger scale data collection needs as well as your day-to-day collection needs for evidence. Okay, so we've created a case, we've deployed it in our applications, and while we're waiting for submissions from the public, now we're going to go ahead and check out the social feeds and see what information is relevant to this stadium riot. So we're going to click on the social feeds button for our baseball stadium riot case, and we're going to go ahead and add a social feed. This is a new tool we've just released. It currently allows you to query against 3 social media networks: Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. We're adding Facebook and others here very soon. I'm going to choose Instagram real quick, and allows me to search by tag, location, or even a specific user. Now, since this is a specific case for a specific geography, we're going to choose the stadium. So I will choose Dodger Stadium as an example, and we'll go on that specific location and set our search parameters to the location inside and around the stadium. We'll click save. We will choose our timeline. I will just choose the last 7 days as an example, and we'll click search. And now we have a feed of information that's been submitted by the public or been uploaded to social media by the public. And we can go ahead and scan this information very quickly. And anything we see regarding the crowd, we can save to our case. I'm going to click Save to Case on this one. We've got some crowd photos there. I'll click Save to Case here. And so what I'm doing is I'm adding this into our cases central library, where the submissions from the public will also show. So very easy to add and also manage. So I can click manage and I can now manage this particular media inside of my library. Now what we did is we just ripped this media. So we actually extracted the file. You now have this file at your disposal, and you've got your GPS information, and actually you can link out to the original file and see this user. For example, if this user was a potential suspect, you might want to go ahead and copy this user's name, drop him in one of your suspect folders, apply, and then go ahead and let's go and search this specific user and see what other information we can gather from this user. So we'll search this user, we'll search for the last several months, and we'll see what he's been up to. So this is all publicly available information. We're not doing anything illegal here. These are publicly available posts. So we'll go ahead and click on map, for example. We'll map our first view, and we can see all that information on a map. Now, since we set a geofence, it's all happening within the baseball stadium area, and we can go ahead and look at this information and add any relevant data to our case. Okay. All right. So we can close that out, and we can also map where this other user has been and see exactly what where he's been, what locations, and at what time. So this can be valuable in terms of an investigation. We've seen it where some of these criminals will almost brag about what they're doing on social media, and post quite often on social media. So this can be a valuable tool for your investigation. Okay, the third piece I said I was going to demo for you was the Bookmarklet. I'm going to go ahead and go out to a web page. I'm going to just choose the New York Times homepage as an example. Let's for example say that somebody has sent us a link to an article or a blog post or even a Reddit post, and information is valuable there. We're going to go and click capture. This is the little button you see here in my browser. That's our Bookmarklet. And what you see is a full page overlay which extracted all of the images from this web page. And I can save those to our case, and we'll track back to the original location of this image, meaning this web page. If the whole web page is relevant, I'll just click on this button and I'll actually take a screenshot. So here you're seeing the screenshot just happened and it just shrank down, and now we can save that to our case. So this can be a valuable tool for extracting and copying information that's out on the internet that's relevant to this case. Okay, so now we're seeing our media come into our repository. These are the 3 Instagram photos that we had recently copied. I'm going to go ahead and go up to our master library. So this is the button up here. This is our library for all of our media across all of our cases. It's all showing up in one central repository. I can review this information very quickly and collaboratively. So this is cloud-based, it's based on Amazon. This interface is constantly updating and pulling information. And so if you've got, let's say for example, 17 people, analysts in this interface investigating the crime, you're all going to see where each other is in the interface, what they reviewed, and what still needs to be reviewed. So for example, we'll click on this image here, and we'll mark it as reviewed, for example, to mark it as something that has been reviewed by one of our team members. So you can see there it's now been reviewed by John Thompson. On the right, you've got search criteria and foldering systems for being able to organize the information. You've got a chat board, which allows you to communicate with your collaborating members. And again, it's cloud-based, so you can have members in different geographies, different areas of your agency, or somebody might have been at home when it happened, and they immediately need to get on their laptop and begin accessing the information. You can see here that a file has been shared, so we can go ahead and click on that and open it up, review the information, and even leave a note for other collaborators on this particular information, on this particular photo. Now I'm going to show just a few tools. I'm going to pull up a video and show you what it looks like to analyze a video. So here I'm able to watch a video. I can control the play speed. I can move 3 times faster or literally frame by frame. And I can see information about the video submission on the right. So who this came from, what type of media it was, when it was captured, GPS information, etc. And I can even click on more data and I can see more information about this. What we do, just so you understand technically, each media that comes into Citizen Global, we will treat as evidence. So we will first hash the file, which gives it that fingerprint for evidentiary purposes. We will then um, run a virus scan check on it, make sure it's not a virus. If it is a virused file, we will keep the file. That's still a piece of evidence. Somebody tried to tamper with your investigation, and you'll have the IP address of where that was submitted from. If it does pass the virus check, we will then process the video. We will extract all of the metadata from the file, which includes the GPS information and the time captured, etc. And then finally, we will create copies of the file. And that's what you're viewing here. You're viewing a copy of the file. You're not touching the original. If you want to access the original, you can always download it. So you can download the original, and then you can run a hashing system on it to make sure that while this file has been stored in the Amazon Web Services cloud using Citizen Global software, you can verify that this file has in no way been manipulated using that hashing system. If you're using other investigation tools, you can download the video in a custom format. And you can use our custom transcoding tools to bring it down in the format exactly your investigation team needs to use. Let's just say we're looking for black SUVs, and boy, here's that moment, 13 seconds into the video, we see our black SUV. I'm going to go ahead and click on the annotation button, and we're able to take high resolution screen grabs from these videos and then annotate them, organize them into folders, and even download them. So we've got great tools for analyzing the information that actually is received quickly and in the cloud. So for example, I can go ahead and zoom in on this car, and I can actually go ahead and add an arrow, for example, pointing at the car. This is what we're looking for. So if you do have a suspect and you want to go ahead and highlight their face, for example, we've got tools for doing that as well. So really easy options to quickly analyze information. Okay, that's I just downloaded the file to my laptop, and now I can actually send that out to the news media if I need to. There it is. And I can also post media out to social media. Something that you've seen important is maybe you have the suspect identified and you want to post it out to social media. You can do that as well. Okay, so that about wraps our demonstration. We're going to turn back into the slideshow, just show a few more slides, and then we're going to go ahead and then jump into the Q&A and address your questions. So what was the Community Connect product, which again is the crowdsourcing solution. But if you'd like to learn more about our other products, we do provide solutions for other issues. For example, we mentioned how does your team on the scene at headquarters and in other supporting agencies capture their own information. So you saw in the demonstration, we didn't demo it, but there was an upload button for your own team to upload. Well, first responders and investigators can use our system to capture information internally and then add it into cases and do case management. And finally, digital evidence. We're finding that agencies are being inundated with dash camera, body camera, surveillance video, all kinds of data. And with our solution on top of Amazon Web Services, we're able to deliver a end-to-end solution for the efficient storage and distribution of that information. So the tools that we're talking about are we're showing on the screen now. So the first one you saw, Community Connect, and the other two are called Squad Connect and Evidence Library. And if you'd like to learn more about those products, you can connect with us after the demo. and you'll see the contact information after the demo. But those are other capabilities we have. We realize that it goes beyond just crowdsourcing. It goes into the internal collection of information, and we do provide tools that support that as well. All right, John, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you and let you wrap things up.
Great. Thank you very much, Nick. So on your screens, you'll see as we transition to the Q&A piece, you'll see an opportunity to answer some polling questions. So we'd appreciate your feedback. And then we'll just wait a minute or two for everyone to answer those polling questions. And then we do have some questions that are coming in. And it seems most of those questions are more around the Citizen Global platform. So as soon as we transition from the polling questions, we'll start answering those the questions that are coming in. So please, if you have them, please send them in. Very good, everyone. Thanks for taking that time. Michael, do you have one more polling question, or was it just two? Nick, I think you can see some of those questions coming in on from your perspective. I would defer to you to kind of look at those and see which ones that you want to start with first.
Okay. So I see a reference to Leader here. So you may have heard of the Leader platform. That's spelled Leedir. We did not reference it in the demonstration, but you've probably heard of it before. That is a free program. It's a free activation of Citizen Global's crowdsourcing capabilities. We've been traveling around various conferences, spreading the word about this. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department envisioned the program after the Boston Marathon bombing, and they wanted a solution that's available for free to law enforcement during the major disasters. And so we were providing our solutions free of charge in those crisis events. And we encourage you to learn more at leader.us. That's leedir.us. And you can learn more about that program. And in that, we encourage you to join a webinar to get trained on how to use Leader. In fact, your team will get an account and be ready to go in the event of a major disaster. But it has to meet a certain criteria in order for it to be a Leader event, which you can learn about on the leader.us website. But we encourage you to check it out. And if you happen to be at any of the big APCO, IACP, or NSA conferences, we will be at pretty much all of those and would love to meet with you in person. I see another question, John, is how do citizens find out about the smartphone apps? So your agency or organization will get its own branded mobile app. So for example, with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, they will get their own eyewitness app powered by Citizen Global's Cloud. And that app will be branded for Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. So the LA Sheriff's Department can promote that through traditional channels. What we've found with some customers is that they've used that as an opportunity to do a press announcement or a press release or a press conference to the news to spread the word and let the community know that there's this new tool and that law enforcement wants to collaborate with citizens and engage them to be part of keeping the jurisdiction or the community safe. I see another question. How quickly can Citizen Global platform be deployed? It can be deployed very rapidly. We can move literally within the same day. It can be deployed with Leader, for example. It can be deployed in a matter of moments. So the deployment of this platform is very easy, very seamless. Since it's cloud based and a software as a solution, and we're living on top of Amazon's expandable infrastructure. It's pretty much ready to go at the drop of a hat. And one of the reasons we actually really like being on Amazon and why they're a part of the Leader program is my word is their ridiculous scalability. They have pretty much infrastructure that can handle any ingestion of information. So, when talking about the Boston Marathon bombing, we've heard that the numbers were somewhere around 100,000 media submissions over a very short period of time. Now, of course, the Boston PD were using an email server to handle that influx, which, of course, turned out to be a technical sort of disaster. Files were lost, emails didn't make it through. What did make it through was valuable information, but it was compressed and it was in multiple formats. So they had to convert the files and then and then they had no way of sharing and organizing that information. Um, it's a quick platform to deploy. Okay. Pricing model. If there's a question about pricing, if you'd like to learn more, we encourage you to message us directly on either the Citizen Global website or the email address you saw earlier, rcrowley@citizen.com, to learn more. Very simple pricing. It's just a software as a service monthly license fee, and it's very cost effective. We do have a promotion going on that ends in the end of September. If you want to learn more, you can message us. And the only additional fee on that is storage. So if you go over your allotted storage, then you pay for that. It's a very cost-effective solution, though. Do we offer training on the program platform? Yes, we do. We do offer training. We have free webinar training. If your team needs on-site training, we can arrange that as well. For example, with the Leader program, we're talking with one particular agency, and they're having about 50 or so investigators. We're going to do a training for. So we have done it, and we can support you in those needs. I see an important question here, which is, can first responders upload their video as well? So through the crowdsourcing applications, virtually anybody can submit information. But if you'd like your first responders to be able to, on the scene, log in and upload their data attached to their user, and as well as review and manage that information from the scene and even create new cases, that's part of the Squad Connect product, which is the product we didn't really discuss on this phone call. And that's just an add-on product that just connects right into Community Connect and will allow all of your team to have their own account on Citizen Global and be able to upload their own information. And this can happen without community engagement. So if you have investigators or first responders or even administrators at the front desk of your police department capturing audio recordings of crime reports, you can do that from smartphones and add it into your case system through this solution. So if you'd like to learn more about that, you can connect with us to do a follow-up demo. Let's see. Okay, does the platform have texting capabilities? So, great question. Well, does it allow? I believe the question here is referring to accepting text messages. One of the things we're doing is because of all the attention our solution's been getting at these conferences, we've been having a lot of fantastic software partners come up to us to discuss integrations, and they're varied and many, and they vary from photo recognition, facial recognition software platforms. We're integrating in with one now, which allows for people to query our database against facial recognition. And we are also talking with some next gen 911 type partners that we can integrate the texting and MMS into this database, so you can bring it all into this one central repository. We encourage you to think about Citizen Global strategically, and Amazon strategically as a really cost-effective, scalable, resilient, and secure solution to the collection of this information. And we do have the ability for you to add other types of data into this. We mentioned body cameras, we mentioned dash cameras, we mentioned other types of data that can be added into the system. And so we encourage you to think of the system as really a really kind of 21st century solution to a central repository of data. And it's the benefits of it is with the cloud is that it's very easy to distribute and share. Okay, I see a question about IP address captured and things like that. So as we mentioned, each submission, we are capturing information about the submission. One of the things we do automatically capture is the IP address. That currently happens automatically. As citizens submit, they do not have to provide their personal contact information, but we will take the data that is available, for the submission. So it does do the automatic tracking of the IP address. And if the photo or video does have, information like GPS, we will extract that as well. So that's something that we leverage. John, we got about 2 more minutes. Did you have anything you wanted to wrap up on? I think those are most of the questions that have been coming in. Anything that you'd like to add to the webinar?
Well, Nick, thanks so much. I appreciate everybody attending today, and it's a great opportunity for us to really promote the great work that Citizen Global is doing, and it runs on this awesome infrastructure that we call AWS. So, really grateful for the opportunity to provide this great solution to all of the attendees. And we're just transitioning to the last slide here. So we did go through the questions. Thank you for providing your input on the polling questions. For anything around AWS specifically, please reach out to me, John Hepner. There's my email address. And for anything specific to Citizen Global, Nick, I know we have Ro Crowley here, her email address and phone number, but you also mentioned there was another way to get in touch with Citizen Global.
Correct. Yeah, from the Citizen Global website, we do have a contact us form, and you can connect with us through that as well.
Very good. Well, we're approaching the top of the hour here. Again, I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your day to join us for the webinar, and this will be available, and we'll provide a link out to all of the attendees, and this presentation will be available to each and every one of you. So from AWS and Citizen Global, thank you very much for attending today. Have a great afternoon.